Good evening, everyone. Welcome along to this FA Cup second round tie between Yeovil Town and Stevenage Football Club. And a place in the third round is what lies ahead for one of these two sides. And it's going to be a fantastic cup tie here between two very, very good sides here that have both had experiences of cup upsets over the years as well. So we'll run you through the two lineups first of all before we get underway. Kickoff will be in around about 3 minutes from now. The Yeovil side, they line up with Smith in goal. Then a back line of Moss, Williams, Hunt and former Stevenage man Luke Wilkinson. Another former Stevenage man is in the centre of midfield for the hosts as well. That's Dale Gorman there, alongside Josh Staunton and Matt Worthington. And then they also have Low Everton playing just behind Yusuf as well. But Ruben Reed, a name amongst the substitutes. Evans, Knowles, Bradley and Haste as well alongside them. As for the Stevenage side, Adam Smith is the man in goal. A back line of Luther James Wilding, Terence Van Kooten, Luke Prosser, who's in as captain today as well, in place of Scott Cuthbert, who is unavailable. Max Melbourne, the man preferred to Ben Coker at left back. Jake Reeves and Jake Taylor are in midfield. Either side of them are Elliot Osborne and Bruno Andrade. And then leading the line is Elliot List, top goal scorer for the club with 12 goals. And he's partnered by number 20, Jamie Reid. Substitutes for the Borough are Anang Coker, Norris Lyons Daly, Arthur Reed, Jack Smith, Ross Marshall and Brad Barry as well. Of course, Paul Tisdale taking charge of Stevenage for the first time this evening. And there's a nice touch here now from the Yeovil fans with a banner going around just in front of me here as well for their former captain who passed away, Lee Collins. A flag there with his name on is going along the stand at the moment. So very nice touch there from the Yeovil fans in that one. As for your officials, we've got Craig Hicks from Surrey on referee duty. He's assisted by Kevin Howick and Alex James. And the fourth official is Paul Howard. As we're about to be getting underway in just a moment or so from now. Of course, plenty of former Stevenage connections in this Yeovil side. Not just Dale Gorman and Luke Wilkinson, but also their boss, Darren Saal, as well, who was absolutely everywhere in Stevenage, in his time at Stevenage, from working with the community all the way up to first team manager, and doing a very good job for Yeovil Town as well at the moment, having them just outside the Blues, the conference playoffs, I should say. So, of course, they come into this one on the back of a 2-0 victory in midweek as well, rearranged game. Well, they beat Wrexham. So the riches of Wrexham there, all the fame of Wrexham was able to, so that was undone, I should say, by this Yeovil side. And it is the green and whites of Yeovil who are going to be getting us up and underway with kickoff once the two sides have taken the knee, which they're just about to do now. And Yeovil going to get us underway with Dale Gorman, the man who's going to kick us off. Kicking from left to right in this first 45 minutes. Stevenage kicking from right to left. Dale Gorman goes all the way back to his keeper. And we are underway here. That's Grant Smith. Plays it long. And it's one in the air there early on by Luther Wilden. But Yeovil straight away got a shot at goal. And straight away it's wide of the goal there from Dale Gorman. But it had Adam Smith there diving a little bit. And almost within the first 18 seconds there, Yeovil were already one possessed the ball in midfield, and Dale Gorman on the edge of the area wasn't able to direct it past Adam Smith, who was diving down low. But the former Stevenage man couldn't put that one on target, and it's a lucky escape early on for the side from Hertfordshire, who could be in here now as well. It's looking for Elliot List, but it was well defended there by the back line of Yeovil, and it's now with Yeovil in midfield, and it's Luke Prosser wins it for Stevenage now, and Jake Reeves loses out to Dale Gorman now. Trying to get a stamp on this game early on. The former Stevenage a academy man. And it's now going to be a throw-in for the host, Darren Searle, trying to get his instructions across already early on there. You'll listen, of course, to the commentary hub, JB Sports. Whereas Yeovil were in here and it was tried to be played back. It's well defended in the end by Stevenage. Now it's Bruno Andrade. He plays it back to Max Melbourne now. Max Melbourne has been harried by Youssef and he is only able to knock it out of play for a throw-in. So you're listening to the commentary hub, JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM, and also on Twitter and Twitch as well. Also on the SFC Interviews channel for this game as well. The channel that I run for Stevenage Football Club. For former Stevenage players anyway that I've interviewed over the last sort of 18 months or so. And it is the Borough in possession now. It's Bruno Andrade from Jake Taylor. Plays it down the line, but only as far as Luke Wilkinson there. Brings it into midfield, and Luke Wilkinson, now it's Dale Gorman. It takes a deflection off of Jake Reeves and behind for a Yeovil throw. It's a very bright start from the home side, actually, and I'm sure that Darren Searle will be very, very pleased. Obviously, they're taking a lot of confidence from that victory over Wrexham in the week, and they really do look up for this FA Cup tie here against the League Two outfit. It's now Luke Wilkinson in possession. Now he plays it into midfield, looking for Staunton. And Staunton turns there and knocks it back to the defender Hunt. Plays it in, looking for Wakefield there now. And out it goes to Low Everton. Obviously, one of the goal scorers for Yeovil in the week. Now it's with Josh Staunton, and Yeovil in possession early on, keeping possession very well as well. And if you do want to sync it up to our coverage, you can do so via probably Twitch is probably the best way, and have that next to you if you're out and about. Of course, not if you're in Stevenage. I'm sure the majority of Stevenage and the majority of Yeovil are actually at this game this evening. It's Luther Wilding with a throw for the away side now. It's given away now. Josh Staunton clears it, looking for the front man of Youssef, but it's one in the air by Luther Wilding. He wins it a second. Terence Van Kooten, I should say. And he wins it a second time as well. And now it's with Yeovil and out wide with Gorman, and back to Wilkinson. I think that was. He knocks it back to the keeper Smith. Battle of the Smiths today. Grant in goal for Yeovil, and former Yeovil man Adam is in goal for Stevenage. A player that Stevenage have only signed fairly recently. He got man of the match on his debut in a game that I was actually at against Leyton Orient, and a game that I was watching as a fan rather than actually on commentary duty. Okay, not to worry there. Got a message through from Russ as well. So anyone that was wanting to hear Watford against Manchester City, that has unfortunately had to be cancelled last minute due to Ryan Francis having a few technical difficulties there to deal with. But Stevenage fans, don't worry about that, because everyone knows that Stevenage had applied a partnership out of the two sides anyway. As Adam Smith takes this goal kick now. Looking for Jamie Reid, and he loses out there. Now it's with Low Everton for Yeovil, and he has to go back. In fact, there's a flag up there in the end, and it's going to be a free kick to Stevenage there for an offside up against one of the Yeovil forwards. And Jake Reeves takes it and plays it to Max Melbourne. Back to Jake Reeves again. Now Luke Prosser, acting skipper for the evening. Wins the throw there, does the former Southend and Colchester United man as well. 5 minutes played, in fact it's 5.5 played, and it still remains goalless. Yeovil 0, Stevenage 0. This FA Cup second round, the third of four. Of course, earlier on you would have heard Buxton against Morecambe, where the League One side of Morecambe were only just about able to get through against their counterparts in the end, and that was with Russ Vernon on commentary duty for that one. And of course, last night you would have also heard the game between Gateshead and Charlton, with updates on the Rotherham game. Ben Coker, incidentally, right, is amongst the bench for Stevenage today. is amongst the substitutes. There's a chance there for Yeovil to get it forward, but headed out by Terence Van Kooten. I will run you through those two sides when I get another chance to in a moment. It's now with Williams for Yeovil. Tries to find, I think it was Wakefield, was that, or Gorman? As they're now doing the 6-minute applause as well, which is, of course, for the young Everton fan who, of course, everyone knows Arthur Labinho Hughes, who was, of course, brutally murdered by his family there. And the great touch there that Yeovil and Stevenage fans, incidentally, are getting involved with that to pay tribute to young Arthur. As it's a free kick here for Yeovil. Dale Gorman, the man over it. Chance here for Gorman to whip it in. And it's over the head of Jake Taylor there, and Luke Wilkinson coming in round the back post and couldn't direct it on target. One former Stevenage man onto the head of another there, and it was a lucky escape for the side from Hertfordshire. Of course, Luke Wilkinson, one of those men that I was mentioning earlier that I have actually interviewed for the channel as well. Very nice guy, Luke. Very humble and down-to-earth fella. And of course, now I'm watching this, it's going to get me thinking, well, Dale Gorman could be one of my next. As it's one in the air by Luke Prosser now. Now it's Josh Thornton for Yeovil. Knocked back to Williams and along to Moss and back to Keeper Smith. 8 minutes played here. Yeovil 0, Stevenage 0 in the early stages of this FA Cup tie. One in the air there by Luther Walden, trying to find Elliot List, but the ball has gone out of play for a throw-in. Darren Sol there just having a word with one of his backroom staff. I know Terry Skiverton is on his backroom staff, a man that has been in the game for a long, long time. He's been at Yeovil for, I believe, around about 24 years, including captaining the side to victory over Stevenage in the FA Trophy, with goals on that occasion from Carl Alford, ex-Stevenage man as well, and the late great Adam Stansfield was the other goal scorer on that occasion for Yeovil, former Exeter City man as well. Of course, has passed away since that. On that occasion, Terry Skiverton was captain. Now he's on the coaching staff at the Glovers. Now it's Elliot Osborne, but Jake Taylor looking for one there by Gorman for Yeovil. Now it's Jake Taylor for Stevenage. Now Max Melbourne. Now Bruno Andrade. Bruno Andrade here for Borough. Now goes back to Jake Reeves. Jake Reeves looks up, trying to dictate play in midfield here. Now Bruno Andrade once more. Tries to find Elliot List, but it's muffled off the ball well there by Moss. And it's a free kick here. Jake Reeves catches his man, Charlie Wakefield. And it's a free kick here for Yeovil Town now. Bit of a muscle. Jake Reeves trying to muscle out his man there, I should say, but fouls Wakefield there. Who actually, I believe Charlie Wakefield was at Stevenage for a short while as well. I don't know if he actually played for the club, but I know he was actually loaned in at Stevenage and has been on the books of the club anyway, that's for sure. The former Chelsea man. There's a free kick here now to be taken by Gorman. He goes long looking for the head of Youssef and it's now out wide there. And actually it's gone out of play. It was, I think it was Worthington there, tried to knock it on to his counterpart, but it went out of play. In fact, it's an offside. It's an offside that's been given there. And Adam Smith, the Stevenage keeper, is going to take this one. He's going to look long as well. Jake Reeves there went into the book, incidentally, for that last challenge just a few moments ago. So the referee there, Craig Hicks, has wasted no time in getting to his back pocket. Well, to not his back pocket, to his pocket anyway, and given a yellow card to the Stevenage midfielder. He's forced back to Adam Smith there with Reeves as well. One that Stevenage fans refer to as the Borough Perlo, Jake Reeves. For the winning penalty in the Carling Cup competition as Stevenage knocks out Luton Town, their Bedfordshire rivals earlier on this season. Stevenage done very well in cup competitions this year, knocking out Luton before going out on penalties to Wickham, and in this competition upsetting the apple cart a little bit after picking up a very valuable 2-2 draw at MK Dons and then winning with a last-minute extra time penalty that was scored by Luke Norris, as Raheem Sterling gives Manchester City the lead against Watford in the Premier League. Incidentally, it's Stevenage in possession here now. Luther Wild in to Terence Van Kooten, and then all the way back to Adam Smith, who plays it out wide to Max Melbourne, who chests it down over on the left flank here. Now Jake Taylor, former captain of Exeter City, and was actually Stevenage's captain in midweek as Borough bowed out of the Papa John's against Sutton United after a penalty shootout. It's now Osborne to Walden. Now Jake Reeves. Jake Reeves looks up for Jamie Reed. Is there a foul there? Referee said yes against, I think it's Williams, and free kick here in a dangerous position for the side in red and white. Sponsored, of course, by Amazon Prime Gaming as well as of this season. Another lucrative sponsorship deal for the Borough on the back of the Burger King deal last year. It's a free kick here in a very, very dangerous position, just outside the area, in fact, on the edge of the box. And it's could be Max Melbourne, or it could be Jake Reeves over it. The two guys that are both in deliberation over who's going to take this free kick at the moment. It's an opportunity for Borough here to test Grant Smith in the Yeovil goal. It looks like it's going to be Reeves to take it. Jake Reeves, what can he do here for Stevenage? Former Notts County man, of course. He's going to take it here. Jake Reeves is saved there and hurried away by Grant Smith, and over the top in the end. I think from, I'm not too sure who it was, the Stevenage man that followed in there, but originally it was a decent effort from Reeves, only parried out, and I think it hit the Stevenage man Osborne there and went over the top, but Osborne was offside anyway, and it is going to be a free kick to Yeovil Town. It's a decent opportunity for Stevenage there though. Good chance there from Jake Reeves. Got it on target, but Grant Smith was down low and down well to deny the Stevenage man there. And down the other end now, it's Stevenage again. Just had to do a bit of defending there, but they did that very, very well. Coming up to 15 played, and it still remains Yeovil Town 0, Stevenage 0 in this FA Cup second round. Of course, you're listening to the Commentary Hub and all of our partner channels on Twitter, YouTube and Twitch as well. And our streaming partners for the season are Melon. You can check them out, melonapp.com. And of course, we certainly say, you know, feel free to go and do that because they are a very good streaming program. The throw in here for Yeovil now. It's going to be taken by, I think it was Hunt there, I believe, but it's given away. One back though in midfield. It's free kick there against the Stevenage man, and Yeovil have a free kick here. And it's Worthington, the man that was fouled there. Unlike Russ, I'm not drinking any Buxton water today. I'm stuck to orange juice. That's my go-to poison of this game, or you know, whatever you want to refer to it as. Of course, Russ in Buxton earlier had the Buxton water on tap pretty much because he was in the commentary box being pretty much offered the Buxton water as and when he wanted it. Stevenage in possession now. Elliot Osborne now out to Max Melbourne. Now Jake Reeves looks up, tries to find Luther Walden. Great ball over there as well. Tries to find Osborne. Elliot Osborne for Stevenage. Shoots and saved low by Grant Smith. He turned away for a corner. Russ seems to like my pun there about the Buxton Water. Bit different there to Buxton and what we get in the commentary box here when we're covering Yeovil in the game against Stevenage. We don't get no Buxton Water here. Well saved actually, Grant Smith there does well. The corner for Stevenage to be taken yet again by Jake Reeves. Jake Reeves is over this corner now for the side managed by Paul Tisdale now for the first time. And it whips in looking for Terence Van Kooten and he fouls his man there. And it's a free kick to Yeovil. Of course, not to get confused here, that Paul Tisdale did actually advise Robbie O'Keefe with the lineup and how many changes and stuff he wanted to see for Tuesday night's game, but he wasn't in the dugout and he didn't actually pick the team or take the game himself. So this is Paul Tisdale's first official game in charge of Stevenage tonight, rather than on Tuesday night, as some people may have thought. Robbie O'Keefe, the man who was working with the first team up until the appointment of Paul Tisdale, and is the man that oversaw the victory in the replay as well with the 2-1 victory. And in fact, the very next day, he was managing back at the Lamex once more in an under-18s game. So, credit where it's due to Robbie O'Keefe there for, when he stepped in. Here's Elliot List for Stevenage. Now Jamie Reid looking for Bruno Andrade. Bruno Andrade back to Max Melbourne. Now it's Jamie Reid there, takes a deflection and goes behind for a corner. Stevenage really trying to get on top of this game now after Yeovil's bright start. It's now Stevenage's turn to really try and attack and to put some pressure on their non-league counterparts. A good effort from Jamie Reid. Good turn, in fact, and I think it came off of Staunton. It might have been for a corner, which is going to be taken by Jake Reeves once more. Of course, lots of men coming forward for Borough, including Terence Van Kooten and Luke Prosser as well. And it's headed on there by, I think it was Prosser, and off the line nearly from Yeovil point of view. As Melbourne has it back from Taylor, and out it goes to Osborne now. And now it's a through ball there, looking for Jamie Reid from, I think it was Luther Wild in the right back. And Yeovil just playing it around here. Now it's Jake Taylor for Stevenage in midfield. Out to to Elliot Osborne, sorry. There's a chance here now, Jamie Reid. Jamie Reid to Bruno Andrade. Bruno Andrade has a shot and it's straight at the keeper, Grant Smith there. Obviously it's going to count as another attempt on target, but keeper Grant Smith there didn't even have to move really with the effort from Bruno Andrade. It was in acres of space, incidentally, not being closed down by any Yeovil midfielders there, but he wasn't able to direct that with power past the Yeovil keeper. Yeovil, in fact, on top of the attempts, but it's Stevenage that have had the only attempts on target. Stevenage have had 2 on target and 2 in the game in total so far. Yeovil have had 3 on goal, but no attempts on target as of yet in this opening 20 minutes of the game. Paul Tisdale there getting his instructions across. Looking very cool as always. So, if you know Paul Tisdale or you've seen Paul Tisdale manage, he is one of the ones that likes to put a bit of an effort into the way that he dresses for a game as well. It's behind here for a Stevenage throw now. Max Melbourne on it. We're coming up to the halfway point of the first half. Luke Prosser in possession now. Given away to Moss. Gets it back. Now, I think that's Staunton, I think it was, which goes back to keeper Smith. Grant Smith, that is. He plays it long, looking for the head of Youssef. And is it handball there? Referee says no, but Jake Reeves wins it back anyway. Now it's Elliot Osborne looking for the free ball over to Jamie Reid, and it goes away from him and away and out of play for a Yeovil throw. 21 played, and it's still goalless. Yeovil 0, Stevenage 0 in this FA Cup second round tie. 21 minutes on the clock. It's probably a good time to mention Mitchell Cole as well, former Stevenage man who passed away 9 years ago in the week. Number 21 for Stevenage on a number of different occasions. Man who was a part of that side that went to Wembley and come back from 2-0 down to lift the FA Trophy, the first side to win the FA Trophy at the new Wembley as well. Mitchell Cole, who passed away 9 years ago in midweek. So, of course, big rest in peace there to former Stevenage man Mitchell Cole. And it's Stevenage in possession now, trying to go forward. Now given away, it's Josh Staunton for Yeovil. Now out to Low Everton. Now back to Hunt. Hunt across to Moss. Moss plays it down the line, and it's going to be tidied up by Max Melbourne, is it? He's going to try and see this one through up against Charlie Wakefield, and does very well to win the goal kick as well, just the Stevenage left back. I will run you through the lineups quickly now as we get a moment as well. It's Adam Smith in goal for Stevenage, Luke for James Weldon, Terence Van Kooten, Luke Prosser, Max Melbourne, Jake Reeves, Jake Taylor, Elliot Osborne, Bruno Andrade, Elliot List, and Jamie Reid. As for Yeovil, it's Smith, Moss, Williams, Hunt, Wilkinson, Gorman, Staunton, Wakefield, Worthington, Low Everton, and Youssef. As Yeovil win the header there in midfield, and it's now Wakefield knocks it on, it gets it back as well, in fact, and now Worthington tries to find Youssef, and Youssef's in an offside position there. The bench, incidentally, for Stevenage is Nang, Coker, Norris, Lyons, James Daly, Arthur Reed, Jack Smith, Ross Marshall, and Brad Barry. As for Yeovil, it's Ribben Reeds, Tom Knowles, Evans, Bradley, and Haste. So only 5 subs on the Yeovil bench. They have struggled to fill a bench for a little bit of time, actually, have the side from Somerset as well. Only 4 subs on the bench in the week. They managed to add an extra one this time around. The Stevenage in possession here now with Jake Taylor, but well won from a Yeovil point of view there. And hook clear and out of play from, I think it was centre-back Williams, it might have been. Now it's Luther Wilders is going to take this Stevenage throw. Now Jamie Reid. Jake Reeves, sorry. Now Terence Van Kooten. Now Luke Prosser. Now Max Melbourne. Down the line to Bruno Andrade. Bruno Andrade back to Luke Prosser once more. Now over to the Guyanan international, Terence Van Kooten. On to Luther James Weldon of Antigua and Barbuda. Now Taylor there was looking for List, but it's now defended well, but only as far as Elliot Osborne. Elliot Osborne on to... Trying to see who that was for Stevenage there. It might have been Reeves in there. That's well defended by Yeovil though. Now Staunton is going to get a chance to clear, and he clears long. And it's well defended by Terence Van Kooten for the away side. Now Taylor. Is he fouled there? Referee says no. Stevenage still have possession, and it's back all the way through to keeper Adam Smith, who just knocks it on one to the man acting as skipper today, Luke Prosser. Through ball from Luther Wilding, looking for the on-running List, but only as far as Smith, who comes out and does well there to claim that one. And then just throws it out to his midfielder, Staunton there. He plays it out, looking for Moss up right back. Now back to Staunton again. Now back onto Moss once more. And back it goes now from Wilkinson to Grant Smith in the Yeovil goal. Yeovil Town 0, Stevenage 0. You're listening to alternative commentary from myself, Mike Heineman, here on the Commentary Hub and all partner channels. As Elliot Osborne knocks it onto Luther Wilding now. He plays it down the line, looking for Elliot List, but one in the air by the Yeovil defender there. Couldn't quite see who it was, whether it was Hunt or Williams. It's Luther Wilding going to take the throw. Chance here to throw it short as well. You see Darren Searle barking some more instructions out to his Yeovil side once more now. Youngest side in the division, Yeovil Town as well, in their National League there. Now Jake Reeves from Max Melbourne's pass. Now Luke Prosser was excellent in the last round against MK Dons. Plays it looking for the on-running Jamie Reid. Is there a foul there? Referee says no. Luke Wilkinson wins it for Yeovil and plays it upfield to Dale Gorman. Now it's back with Stevenage though, and Luke Prosser plays it short to Jake Reeves. Plays it into midfield to Jake Taylor. Jake Taylor onto Elliot Osborne. Signed from Stockport County a couple of years ago. Now Luther Wilden. Tidied up there by Yeovil. And Staunton here to Worthington. And now it's out wide on the left here for Yeovil with Low Everton. I think this is now coming up against Osborne. And he's done very, very well. Has the Yeovil man, Low Everton, who's the low knee, I believe, in fact, as well. There's a chance here for Yeovil now. And it's with Gorman. Plays it out looking for Moss. Moss whips it in only as far as keeper Adam Smith, who claims that one in the Stevenage goal and then just throws it out to Max Melbourne. Now Bruno Andrade. Good feet there from Andrade. Now it's with Reeves. Now out to Wilden. Plays it on to Elliot Osborne. Elliot Osborne looking for Elliot List, but the ball was too soft there and well defended from a Yeovil point of view, and they try and get it on the front foot there, looking for Youssef, but Adam Smith comes out and claims, and then just throws it short to Luke Prosser, and then on to Terence Van Kooten now. Now it's with Elliot Osborne, I think that was, and Jake Taylor goes back to keeper Smith once more in the Stevenage goal. He miscues that one, but Luther Wilden couldn't head it anywhere apart from out danger for a throw. 28 on the clock. Yeovil Town 0, Stevenage 0 in this FA Cup second round, to see which one of these two sides will enter their name into the hat. It's a bit of a late foul there on, I think it was Low Everton there from Elliot Osborne from the Stevenage point of view there. I wonder whether that will be the second yellow of the game, whether Craig Hicks will go to his pocket again or whether Elliot Osborne's going to get away with this one. We'll find out in a moment. There's quite a late challenge there from Stevenage's number 11. I do think he will end up probably in the book, and it does look like he has as well. I need to confirm that though. It does look like the referee was going to go to his pocket though, so I will confirm when I can if Elliot Osborne did get his name in the book there. It's a chance here for Yeovil with this free kick. It's going to be Dale Gorman to whip it in for the set piece. Dale Gorman looks for the number 13 there, Williams, but defended by Stevenage. And now it's back with Yeovil down. Gorman again. Takes a deflection off of Jamie Reid, but Gorman gets it back and goes back to Hunt now. And Hunt looks for, I think that was Staunton maybe, and it's gone behind for a Stevenage goal kick anyway. Darren Searle's men trying to up the ante a little bit once more now, as he continues to be in the discussion with his backroom staff once more in regards to how the opening half an hour of this game has gone for his Yeovil side. Adam Smith takes his goal kick for Stevenage now, looking for Jamie Reid. Now it's knocked on by Reeves to Andrade. Bruno Andrade now. Bruno Andrade, is he caught there by Staunton? The referee, I believe, says yes, he was. And it is going to be a Stevenage free kick here in a dangerous position. And he as well. Good running there from Bruno Andrade. He got past a couple of men there and was tugged back by Staunton, and rightfully ends up with his name being taken. Of course, their top goal scorer at Yeovil, Quigley, incidentally isn't involved at all today. So it must be an injury, but I'm not too sure as of yet. going to be an opportunity here to be whipped in for this free kick for Stevenage. It's Max Melbourne or Jake Reeves. I think it might be Melbourne from this angle. Although we will see. Jake Reeves wants to just be played short though. Melbourne into the area towards Prosser. Gets his effort away and it's over the top there. Luke Prosser at the back post. Couldn't direct it on target. The original header was won by the Stevenage man in the box. I think it might have been Terence Van Kooten at the back post up against Thornton, and then it falls to Prosser nicely, and Luke Prosser there just couldn't direct that one on target, but it's still an opportunity for Stevenage there, and Grant Smith not troubled there, as we see my mate Jay is on the screen there with his son holding the cardboard cutout of the FA Cup as well. Jay, who does the PA announcing at Stevenage, incidentally. Jay Drakford, to give him his full name. Now Moss has this one for Yeovil. He plays it into midfield to, I think it was Low Everton, I think it was. He's got it back and now across to Williams. Now Staunton, now given away though. Jake Taylor here for Stevenage. Now Luther Walden. Now Jake Taylor. Now Elliot Osborne back to Luther Walden. Goes, takes a deflection and goes behind for a Stevenage throw. Luther Walden there. Now it's Jake Taylor looking for the head. And Jake Taylor wins it. In fact, the header as well. And Hunt clears, but only as far as the Stevenage head. Now Jake Taylor again in midfield and won by Dale Gorman and well defended in the end actually by Terence Van Kooten for Stevenage. And Elliot Osborne now just given away a free kick there as it looks like he fouled his man who went over there. So it's a Yeovil free kick. And a chance for them to push some men forward. Of course, tomorrow, if you are into your Women's FA Cup, you can join us as Nicholas Jones brings the coverage of the Women's Cup final between Arsenal and Chelsea. I'll be back to my other role on the TC Hub in terms of presenting duties for that one, to see which side of London is able to get themselves on the FA Cup for this time around, whether it's Arsenal or Chelsea women. Join Nicholas for that one. As Josh Staunton's effort goes wide of the goal here. Not troubling them, Adam Smith and the Stevenage goal at all. As we enter around about 10 minutes to go of this first half. Still remains goalless. Yeovil 0, Stevenage 0, and it's Stevenage plays it up towards Jamie Reid there, but it's given away. And now it's with the number 22, Moss, and back to Luke Wilkinson, who gives it in back once more. Up against Jamie Reid, and Moss goes back to Wilkinson once more. Of course, I mentioned earlier, did have a spell at Stevenage, also had a spell at rivals Luton Town in Bedfordshire as well, incidentally, and had a very good spell with both of those two sides. He's in possession again now as well. Gone out of play for a Stevenage throw-in. Max Melbourne over it. Going to be that man to take this one. I'll just take a quick swig of my drink now. Let's say Bruno Andrade there for Stevenage. He's given away the throw-in as well, he has. Gone in Yeovil's favour. And it's now Dale Gorman. Now back to Williams. I think that's Hunt there, is it? That was just fouled by Osborne. Elliot Osborne not happy with that one. I'm trying to see who that was from it was actually Williams that was fouled there. Sorry, let me correct myself. It's Williams, the number 13 for Yeovil. It was caught by Osborne there. Elliot Osborne, I don't believe was in the book actually from before, but he's certainly got to be careful because he is making a few of those fouls. The man who can play in a number of different positions. Across midfield, as you see Paul Tisdale there, and also the Stevenage subs there, and kitman Keith Bell as well, super fan, who managed to get into the club and get a role with the first team there, which of course is every fan's dream, and Keith Bell managed to do that. He's now kitman for the first team. There's a chance here for Yeovil now. It's a cross, and it's over the top there from, I think it was Wakefield, was it? Or was it Low Everton? I can't remember now who's on that side, but it was over the top anyway, and Adam Smith didn't have to worry about that one. Yeovil players are chopping and changing a bit. That's a little bit difficult as who is in what position, and they're not on the positions I actually had them under earlier, so I'm just trying my best with theirs. I know Stevie's a bit more, obviously. It's a good cross though in the end, and there was just no one there. And it was over the top, and it's a chance for Stevenage to get it forward now, and it's now with Elliot List looking to win the header, but isn't able to do so. And Jamie Reid tries to go up against Staunton, and it's now cleared down the line. Dale Gorman for Yeovil. We've had almost 37.5 plays, still remains goalless. Dale Gorman there. That's now with Moss. I think Staunton was not Staunton. I think Worthington was involved as well. Now gone behind for a Yeovil throw. There's a man down here as well, I believe. Just tying his shoelace up. We are entering the sunny blue low Everton. Is the man that had that last chance just a moment ago, sorry, of that last run. Now Grant Smith for Yeovil tries to get them on the front foot. It's now given away to Melbourne and going to be seen out of play by Yeovil's Moss for a throw. Still awaiting that first goal in this FA Cup tie. Remains Yeovil 0, Stevenage 0. In the Premier League, incidentally, I believe it's still Watford 0, Manchester City 1 as well, with Raheem Sterling's early goal the difference in that game. There's a chance here for Yeovil now from Youssef. Tries to find Wakefield, I think that was. It's gone behind for a Stevenage goal kick. Paul Tisdale there just watches on a moment and is trying to work out what to do here for his Stevenage side. Obviously, he's only been at the club for a short while. He's not even been there for a full week yet. It was Monday last week that he was appointed. So, Sunday last week he was appointed, sorry. So, still not quite his first week up as the ball goes through to Elliot List. Elliot List for Stevenage now. Elliot List to Bruno Andrade. Bruno Andrade gets it all wrong. And it goes behind for a Yeovil goal kick as Elliot List and Jamie Reid were both in the box there, and he could have actually squared that one, could Bruno Andrade. It's a good touch originally from Elliot List and plays it out to Andrade, and Andrade just gets it all wrong. As Manchester City go 2 up against Watford, Bernardo Silva has doubled the advantage for the citizens there. There's a chance here for Yeovil. Trying to get it forward now from this goal kick. Grant Smith plays it into the Stevenage half, and now it's with Wakefield, I think that is. Now Gorman. It goes behind off of Melbourne for a Yeovil throw. 5 minutes to play plus stoppage time. There's a throw in here for the home side to be taken by Moss now, the right back. He throws it to Gorman. Gorman back to, into Low Everton, I think that was that time, and the chance here for Yeovil to get the cross in. They just switched off though because they thought they might have given away a free kick there, Max Melbourne, but the referee said play on and played the advantage, but Stevens got out of jail in the end, and it's now a throw in to the away side as well, I should say. Max Melbourne there just had to be a little bit careful because he was almost caught in possession there. The man who was signed at Stevenage from Lincoln City earlier on in the season. Now it's Jake Reeves. Jake Reeves goes back to Terence Van Kooten, out to Luther Wilden, I believe that is. On the far side there, headed on by Taylor. Now Osborne. Elliot Osborne takes a deflection, goes behind for a Stevenage throw. And Stevenage trying to keep the pressure on. It's Luther Wilden with the throw in, just about 3.5 minutes away from half time. See whether Stevenage can get themselves in the lead just before the break. Plays it short to Osborne here. Back to Reeves now. Reeves to Wilden. Wilden to Osborne. Osborne gets the second bite at it as well. Knocks it back there. Lovely back heel to Wilden. Wilden into the area and claimed by keeper Grant Smith there. But I think the ball has actually gone behind for a corner as well. So opportunity for Stevenage to get the men up from the back. Try and put the pressure on once more. As Jake Reeves is going to take this corner for the Borough now. Plays it across to Taylor. Jake Taylor whips it in. Looking for the head of Jamie Reid. Now it's with Bruno Andrade. Whips it in, takes a deflection off of Staunton and goes behind for another corner on the other side now. On the opposite side. As you see a few fans just heading towards the confectionery stand to get their half-time snacks. It's a corner here for Stevenage. It's Jake Reeves over it once more on this left-hand side. Jake Reeves whips in the delivery. It's high, but it's almost looking for List, but goes behind. It goes, in fact, it's now with Yeovil, kept in by Wakefield. Given away there in the end to Taylor, though, and Taylor's forced back to keeper Adam Smith. Now it's with Luke Prosser. Of course, both sides at home next, incidentally, in their next fixtures. Yeovil host fellow Hertfordshire side Barnet. With one of Stevenage's rivals, incidentally, on their next league game. And Stevenage are at home on Tuesday night in really what could be deemed as a relegation battle, or 6-pointer anyway, for sure, against Scunthorpe. And then Carlisle, another side that are below Stevenage, incidentally, come to the Lamech Stadium on Saturday as well for more league action in League 2. It's Max Melbourne now to Andrade. In fact, it's Reed. Reed plays it to Reeves, and what can Jake Reeves do here on the edge of the box? Plays it through to Osborne. Osborne to Wilden. Wilden to Osborne. Elliot Osborne for Stevenage. Gets his cross in, and it's a chance there. Jamie Reid. And it's deflected. I think it might have come off a Yeovil man last, but Jamie Reid, great, ball there through from Elliot Osborne originally. Good play between him and Luther Wilden. Is he onside? Yes, he is as well. In fact, no, he's offside. The referee assistant there puts his flag up last couple of seconds. It's actually really good defending from a Yeovil perspective there. I think it was Hunt, the man who was able to put Reid off. But fortunately for the Stevenage man, the flag was up anyway, and it does spur his blushes a little bit. Coming up to 45 on the clock now. We'll be finding out. We're into 1 minute, incidentally, of additional time. The board has just gone up now. See whether anyone can grab themselves a goal. Here's Staunton for Yeovil. Given away to Reeves. Now it's with Elliot Osborne. Elliot Osborne for Stevenage. Tries to find Elliot List with the through ball up against Williams. What can List do? He kept it in. Elliot List, Stevenage's top scorer, remember, with 12. Gets his cross in. Looking for Bruno Andrade, but it's way past him and out of play for a throw in there. Incidentally, this game, if it is 0-0, or if we don't have a winner today, we will have a replay back at the Lamech Stadium a week on Tuesday to decide who gets through to the third round. But at the moment, it's very evenly matched, and we are still no further along the line as to finding out whether it's Yeovil or Stevenage who will be the named in that draw, as the half-time whistle has been blown now by referee Craig Hicks. And at the break, I'm going to come to Russ for a little bit of half-time analysis in a moment. But at the break, it remains Yeovil 0, Stevenage 0. Both sides have had their moments. They've had opportunities. The Stevenage have tried to get on top, and throughout the game in midfield, in particular through Jake Reeves and Elliot Osborne, Bruno Andrade as well. But Yeovil holding firm so far. Yeovil 0, Stevenage 0 at the interval. A throw back over to Russ in the studio now.
Thank you, Mike. 0-0 at the break between the two sides as we watch the game unfold. Brilliant commentary from Mike. As we have mentioned today, we'll get back to Mike in time for the second half. Stevenage gone close on a few occasions and should be leading in the first half. Yeovil will call themselves very lucky to be still level at the break. We'll get all the action of the second half coming up very, very shortly. Let's take a look then at all the other scores in the Emirates FA Cup and all the other games that have taken place so far today. And we'll give you an half-time update on the game between Watford and Manchester City as well. So let's take a look then. In the Premier League earlier today, it finished Chelsea 3. It finished West Ham 3, Chelsea 2, should I say. Chelsea were twice in the lead. 1-0 and then 2-1, but West Ham came back to win. Burnley are now rock bottom of the Premier League after Newcastle claimed their first win of the campaign. They beat Burnley by a goal to 0. Southampton 1, Brighton 1. Liverpool left it late, but got the job done. Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Liverpool 1 at Molineux, thanks to Divock Origi. And then he finished Watford, and then at half time it is Watford 0, Manchester City 2. So as things stand, Chelsea, who was top of the day before the kick-off, now slipped down to third. Man City, who were third before the kick-off, move up to first. So, Man City, who were third before the kick-off, moved up to the top spot. Liverpool, who were second, went top momentarily, but now back down to second in the table. West Ham up to fourth with that win, and they're now 4 points clear of Arsenal and 5 clear of Spurs, 6 clear of both Manchester United and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Brighton remain 9th after their 1-0 draw with Southampton. Leicester currently 10th, Palace in 11th, Brighton in 12th, Villa in 13th, Southampton in 14th, Everton in 15th, Leeds in 16th, Watford in 17th, Burnley in 18th, level on points with Newcastle and Norwich. Norwich are bottom of the table already. Wrong a few moments ago saying Newcastle was bottom already. Wrong on a friend's Facebook post. Burnley are remaining 18th on goal difference, and should Newcastle and Norwich both win their next games, Burnley will climb to out of the bottom. Burnley will, if Newcastle or Norwich win their next match, Burnley could end up being bottom of the table. I've just seen a comment come through on our Facebook group chat. We'll get the thoughts. We'll get to that in a second regarding the Newcastle-Burnley game. In the Championship, let's run you through some of those scores as well. Coventry 1, West Bromwich Albion 2, Barnsley 1, Huddersfield 1, Blackburn 0. Blackburn 1, Preston 0, should I say. Blackpool 0, Luton 3, Bristol City 1, Derby 0, Cardiff 2, Sheffield United 3, Middlesbrough 1, Swansea 0, Millwall 3, Birmingham City 1, Nottingham Forest 2, Peterborough 0, Reading 1, Hull City 1. National League, Altrincham 2, Aldershot 2, Altrincham 2, Barnet 3, Maidenhead 0, Bromley 3, Wilston 2, Dagenham Redbridge 3, Grimsby 2, Dover 0, Wrexham 1, Solihull Moors 2, Woking 1, Weymouth 1, Torquay 2. In League 1, 2 games in that division today. Accrington Stanley 5, Fleetwood 1, Sunderland 1, Oxford 1. Oxford remain unbeaten. In the FA Cup, today we'll just run you through those scores on the doors. So it was Buxton 0, Morecambe 1, which you heard this lunchtime here on the commentary hub. AFC Wimbledon 4, Cheltenham 3, Bristol Rovers 2, Sutton United 1, Burton Albion 1, Port Vale 2, Cambridge 2, Exeter 1, Carlisle 1, Shrewsbury 2, Doncaster 2, Mansfield 3, Ipswich and Barrow ended goalless, Leyton Orient 4, Tranmere 0, Lincoln City 0, Hartlepool United 1, Graham Lee, first game in charge of Hartlepool since leaving Middlesbrough in midweek. They progressed to the third round of the FA Cup, beating Lincoln by a goal to 0 at Saint Bank. Portsmouth 1, Harrogate 2 and Walsall 1, Swindon 2. And in this one, which Mark Springer is currently goalless at the break. And whoever wins this will be ball number 45 in Monday's Emirates FA Cup third round draw. Let's take a quick look at some of the games in the National League North, shall we? AFC Fylde 4, Blythe Spartans 1, Bradford Park Avenue 0, Brackley Town 3, Chester 2, Leamington 1, Curzon Ashton 1, Alfreton 2. Gateshead AFC Telford was postponed due to Gateshead's involvement in the FA Cup last night. They were knocked out by Charlton Athletic. Gloucester 2, Spennymoor 0, Guiseley 0, York City 1, Kettering 2, Boston 3, Southport 2, Hereford 0. In the National League South, Chippenham 4, Dorking 1, Concord 2, Braintree 2, Dartford 1, Billericay 0, Dulwich Hamlet 5, Ebbsfleet 2, Hampton and Richmond 0, Hemel Hempstead 1, Abington Waterloo 1, Bath 3, Hungerford 0, Oxford 1, Slough 2, Tunbridge 1, Welling 0, Eastbourne Borough 2. In the Isthmian League Premier Division, Bishop Stortford 1, Cos Alton 1, Corinthians Casuals 1, Wingate and Finchley 1, East Thurrock 0, Bowers and Pitsea 2, Enfield Town 2, Folkestone 3, Haringey 3, Bognor Regis 3, Hornchurch 2, Kingstonian 1, Leatherhead 0, Brightling C 2, Lewes 1, Potters Bar 5, Margate 2, Cheshunt 2, should I say, Merston 1, Horsham 3, Worthing 2, Cray 0. In the Premier League 2, which is under 23s, Tottenham Hotspur beat Manchester City by 3 goals to 0. That puts Tottenham up to second above Arsenal and a point behind the leaders West Ham United. In the Premier League under 18s, some results in there. The match was abandoned between Blackburn and Burnley earlier on, probably due to the weather, not sure. Abandoned due to a waterlogged pitch. Burnley were leading by a goal to 0 at the time. Chelsea 4, Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 3, Tottenham 0, Everton 3, Manchester United 0, Reading 2, Norwich 0, Southampton 2, Fulham 0, Sunderland 3, Middlesbrough 4, West Brom 1, Birmingham 1, Stoke City 2, Man City 0, Wolves 0, Forest 3, Liverpool 3, Newcastle United 1. Let's go to the comment from Jack Cunningham in regards to the Burnley game earlier on today, guys. He said, Eddie Howe's Mags are back. Did Burnley even have a shot? Well, Jack, I can tell you, Burnley had 1 shot on goal in that game, 5 shots off target, 4 blocked shots as well. Is what they had. So hopefully that answers your question. So we'll get ready for the second half very, very shortly. Just seen the highlights of the Morecambe game earlier on our monitors before the second half reconvenes between these two sides. And I've still got my Buxton water with me. Still have some left from earlier, so I fetched it with me to this one this evening. Well, hope everyone is enjoying the coverage so far. Gigs amongst a few others as well. Hopefully you're all doing well today. Just seen some of the goals in the other matches. In the FA Cup, this is the Port Vale game where Port Vale were 1-0 down for large periods against Bristol Rovers, but then for against Burton, should I say, this is the Hartlepool game in Lincoln, and that's a fantastic goal for the Monkey Angers. This is Harrogate away at Portsmouth, and that's a good goal from Harrogate to put them in front of Portsmouth. Don't forget, FA Cup second round results then. AFC Wimbledon 4, Cheltenham 3, Bristol Rovers 2, Sutton United 1, Berkshire Albion 1, Port Vale 2, Buxton Morecambe 1, Cambridge 2, Exeter 1, Carlisle 1, Shrewsbury 2, Youngster 2, Mansfield 3, Ipswich 0, Barrow 0, Leyton Orient 4, Tranmere 0, Lincoln 0, Hartlepool 1, Portsmouth 1, Harrogate 2, and Walsall 1, Swindon Town 2. All the results there, which I've got up on the, which has just come through on the screen, which I mentioned earlier as well. So hopefully everyone who is tuned into this one is enjoying the coverage of the match. If you have been listening to that first half, get in touch. You can do so on the live chat if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter. Or no, YouTube or Twitch, should I say. You can get in touch with us on our Facebook page. Just search for our Facebook page to see which is facebook.com/the commentary hub. But you can get in touch with us if you want on Twitter. Tweet a commentary live 1. And we'll read some of your best out. Let us know where you're watching this from or listening to our coverage from. Let us know what you're doing as well, and let us know how you see the second half going. Will it go to a replay in about 10 days' time, Tuesday week, or will one of these sides edge past the other in the second half? I wonder. And let's ask Mike on that question. Mike, judging from that first half that you've seen, who do you think will go through? Do you think it'll go to a replay, or do you think someone will edge it today, my friend?
So I think it's been a very, very good first half. Obviously, Yeovil really started brightly. They could have actually gone 1-0 up after around about, I think it was 20 seconds and something like that, with that effort from Dale Gorman that Adam Smith couldn't, didn't need to, I should say, actually make a save from. But Stevenage actually got on top in the end of that half, actually throughout the second half of that first half in particular. Plenty of chances there. Chance for Andrade, chance for Osborne, chance for Reed from the set piece, chance for Luke Prosser from the corner as well. So I think so far on the balance of play, when you look at the chances and you look at how things are going, so far it does look like Stevenage will be the side to grab that all-important goal, and then it's all about how Yeovil bounce back after that. But you never know with the FA Cup. You know, yes, Stevenage have been on top for large parts, creating chances, but it only takes a minute for, Yeovil to grab themselves a goal and put themselves in the lead. So it's still anyone's game, really.
Yes, as you say, Meg, still anybody's game really in the match at Yeovil Park, where it looks as though the teams are now back out for the second half. So be back at full time to round up the rest of the scores and get the course of Meg briefly once I've gone through the rest of the scores, remind you of the rest of the scores, and remind you of how Man City going on the Premier League table in full. But the teams are back out for the second half of Yeovil Park. It's back over to Mike Orman for Yeovil against Stevenage.
Thank you very much there, Russ. The two sides are just back out now. It's just the referee, Craig Hicks, is just checking in with both keepers to make sure that everything's okay for the game to get back underway again. Now, Yeovil's full set of players are on the pitch there. There's just one man who's a little bit late to the party for the second half, and it's Elliot List, who's just top scorer to get us up and underway for the second half action. And it's him in possession now once again. 12 goals for Elliot List. One, obviously, the penalty last time out against MK Dons as well, which was scored by Luke Norris as he was caught. So he's caught late there in the face by Dale Gorman. Just Elliot List there. Dale Gorman just catches him right in the mouth there. The Northern Ireland young international. He played for the youth teams in Northern Ireland. Didn't get through, obviously, to play in the senior sides, but he played up until, I think it was around about the under-19s, under-20s, something like that. So we'll confirm for you in a moment. But it's the Stevenage free kick here early on. It's Jake Reeves over it alongside Max Melbourne. And there's a chance here. Max Melbourne takes it, whips it in, looking for the head of List. And List there just directs that over the top of Grant Smith's goal. And early on, Elliot List gets really his first opportunity there. And, Luther Wilding was in an offside position, but the ball fell onto the head of Elliot List, and it ends up with the Stevenage fans behind the goal. And Elliot List there rises very well for such a small man, but not able to direct his effort on target. Here is Jake Reeves now. No subs at the break, incidentally, I believe. It's Luke Wilkerson, the man who's captain in Yeovil. Former Stevenage man, of course, incidentally. Luke Prosser is captain in Stevenage, and now it's Yeovil in possession there. It's given away by, I think it was Williams who gave that one away there. It's seen all the way through by Moss in the end to his keeper, Grant Smith, and he's joining us as we played about 47 minutes played, 2 minutes into the second half, and it's still Yeovil 0, Stevenage 0 in this FA Cup second round tie. And some nice garlic bread as my half-time snack. Keep me warm, which is always a good thing on a cold evening like this. Luther Wilding wins a free kick for Stevenage. It's going to be taken by keeper Adam Smith. Just don't give me a kiss. The garlic breath. But Adam Smith takes it now. Going out to play for a Yeovil throw. Adam Smith trying to bark some instructions there at his attackers. As the ball goes out of play, and it's going to be Williams to take this Yeovil throw. He's going to throw it down the line, looking for Youssef, and headed on there to Wakefield was that, but it's given away. Prosser wins it back for Stevenage and tries to hook it clear, looking for Jamie Reid now, and knocked back by Hunt to keeper. Clears that one. Now it's only as far as Osborne though, and now Bruno Andrade. Bruno Andrade for Stevenage. What can he do here? He's got men surrounding him. Is he caught as well? The referee says, sorry, the official saying no, he wasn't there. It's Bruno Andrade is remonstrating with one of the assistant referees there. I'm not too sure who it is on that side, whether it's Kevin Howick or Alec James, but Bruno Andrade not happy there that he didn't get the free kick. was actually a very fair challenge. It was a hard challenge, but a fair challenge from the Yeovil man. Here's Luther Wilden giving away. In fact, he's battling it back though with Worthington. Wilden wins it back and he wins the throw as well to Stevenage's right back, who does very well there. Luther Wilden had his birthday yesterday, incidentally, as well. Did the Antigua and Barbuda International, or was international. I don't know if he's been called up for them recently, in fact, but it's his birthday yesterday. I wonder whether Stevenage can give him the perfect birthday present by putting their name into the hat for a third round place without having to do it for a replay. Because it's Elliot List there and it's gone behind for a Stevenage throw. And it's Osborne. Now it's List, sorry. Now it's Osborne now. Osborne on to Wilden. Whips in the cross, looking for the head of Elliot List, but it goes behind for a Yeovil goal kick. 50 minutes played and it still remains goalless. Still Yeovil 0, Stevenage 0, and you're listening to Commentary Hub, JB Sports, JDAC Football, Storm FM, Commentary Hub Twitter, and also the Commentary Hub's Twitch as well, and the SFC Interviews channel, where we have the game broadcast on this evening as well. It's Luke Prosser from Stevenage. Back to Adam Smith now. Adam Smith gives it away. It's knocked on by Worthington there and Youssef, and now it's with Low Everton, and Low Everton plays it in. There's a chance here for Yeovil, and it's the opening goal, and it's scored by the number 19, Charlie Wakefield. Yeovil Town have gone in front. It's the non-league side that have taken advantage there as Stevenage has missed chances, and Charlie Wakefield, he had a bit of a spell at Stevenage earlier on that I touched on earlier as well, has given Yeovil Town the lead. It's Yeovil 1, Stevenage 0. Charlie Wakefield, the former Chelsea man, is the man that has given Yeovil the opening goal of this game, and it's all to do now for all Tisdale's men. But Darren Sol, delighted there, punches the air, and Adam Smith couldn't do anything about that one at all. Tucks neatly underneath him there. It's good play and a lovely setup, and then it's put into the back of the net. And Yeovil are the side in the ascendancy now. They've got the opening goal. There's a few slips there. Max Melbourne slipped, Luke Prosser slipped as well, which didn't help the cause for Stevenage. But Yeovil won't mind that one bit, and Charlie Wakefield has given them the advantage. It's Yeovil 1, Stevenage 0. And I wonder whether that means Paul Tisdale will go to the bench anytime soon to bring on the likes of maybe a Luke Norris or somebody like that. But Yeovil in front now. Charlie Wakefield, the man on the score sheet, 6 minutes into the second half. There's a clearance there by Grant Smith. And you see the Yeovil fans celebrating, loving this already. Real love for life at the moment at Yeovil. And Stevenage have it back though. Jake Taylor. They've really got to bounce back here, Stevenage, and they certainly have to get the next goal. Here's Max Melbourne now. Goes back to Luke Prosser. One in the air by Moss. I think that was. It might have actually been Staunton, and Yeovil might have a chance to nip it in here in front of Luke Prosser as well. And Jake Reeves knocks it back to the acting skipper and on to Max Melbourne now. Max Melbourne hooks it out of play. In fact, it keeps it in as Jamie Reid there as well. And he wins the foul as well. Wins the free kick there. Does the Stevenage front man. And Jake Taylor is really urgently trying to get on with this one. Try and put the ball down and get Stevenage playing quickly. But in fact, they've given the ball away. And it's a long ball now looking for Charlie Wakefield. But the ball's out of play for a Stevenage throw. And Paul Tisdale there is watching on, looking a little bit perplexed as to how his side are trailing this one by a goal to nil. But they are, because of Charlie Wakefield's goal just a moment ago. Of course, the two lineups for Stevenage is Adam Smith, Worthington, Van Kooten, Prosser, Melbourne, Reeves, Taylor, Osborne, Andrade, List and Reed. And for Yeovil. It's Grant Smith, Moss, Williams, Hunt, Wilkinson, Gorman, Staunton, Wakefield, Worthington, Low Everton, and Youssef. And Yeovil have a free kick here now. Coming up to 54 minutes played, and they are the side in the ascendancy here, winning 1-0. Dale Gorman with the set piece, whips it in. It's headed by Taylor, and it's up into the air by Worthington, but only as far as Melbourne up against Youssef. And Melbourne wins the throw there off of the Yeovil frontman as well. Of course, there's many names that have played for both of these two clubs as well over the years, including Charlie Lee, who just announced his retirement as of yesterday. Also, Francois Zoko as well, and many other names, including obviously Wilkinson and Gorman, but there's been other names, including Jimmy Smith as well. His Luther Wilder now gets it back from Osborne. Now Andrade. It's gone behind off of Dale Gorman for a Stevenage throw. There's also been other names that have been mentioned there as well that have played for both clubs. Adam Smith as well is another one. It's him in possession now, the Stevenage keeper. Looking for Jamie Reid, but loses out there. There's a Yeovil man down, but referee says play on. And it's now back with Stevenage. And it's Melbourne who tries to play it out, looking for Andrade. And it goes out of play for a throw as Stevenage are getting a sub ready. And I believe it's Luke Norris, the man who was the difference maker against MK Dons last time out with the penalty in the 120th minute. Who's going to come on? Wonder whether that'll be for Jamie Reid. Might make way for Luke Norris there. He's now back at his hometown in Stevenage as well after many years away and playing in the Football League. But he's now at Stevenage. There's a foul out by Gorman on Max Melbourne. And will be time for Luke Norris to enter the fray in a moment. Number 9 is coming on now. Let's see who he comes on for here. And it is going to be Luke Norris in place of Luke Prosser. So Stevenage going very much more attacking now with a striker coming on for a centre-back. Which we'll probably see Jake Taylor going as captain. So Norris is on for Prosser now, and Stevenage going for it. Might be free at the back, I'm not too sure. It looks like it could be free at the back, in fact. Free up top as well. Here's Reeves now. Now it's Osborne. Osborne to Terence Van Kooten. Now Elliot Osborne. Now back to Van Kooten again. Van Kooten switches the play, looking for Andrade. Given away though. Now Reeves. Well, one in the air there by Moss, and it's a free kick for Yeovil as well. That was the first sub, incidentally. Luke Norris coming on. His brother Jamie also plays at Stevenage, plays in the Stevenage Academy. There's young Jamie Norris, another name that I'm sure will be in and around the first team in the not too distant future. But it's Luke, the man that Stevenage are looking to grab themselves a goal through now, though. It's Jake Taylor, well won as well. Plays it to Norris. Tries to find List, but given away. Defended well by Yeovil. Now back with Grant Smith. Still time for Stevenage here. With still just over half an hour to go. Now Matt Worthington. Now it's Low Everton. Looking for the run of... I'm not too sure who that was, but now Worthington gets it back. Now it's Low Everton again. Back to Worthington. On to Gorman. Back to Low Everton. Now on to Worthington once more. Gorman's involved again as well. Wilkinson. They're all just playing it around in neat triangles at the moment. Oh, Yeovil. It was actually... it wasn't Wilkinson, I don't think. It was actually Gorman whips it in now. It's looking for Youssef, but Adam Smith claims and then throws it out to Jake Reeves, who looks to try and get Stevenage moving. Jake Reeves plays it out to Max Melbourne. Sorry, to Bruno Andrade on the left. Wins the throw, does he, off of Moss? Indeed he does. He wants to take it quickly as well, does the Portuguese man. Now it's Luke Norris. Luke Norris. It's a bit of a late challenge there, but went unpunished because he didn't catch his man in the end. But Yeovil have it back, and it's now Gorman. Good defending by Max Melbourne. Forced back to Terence Van Kooten now. It does very much look like Steve's gone 3-4-3 here, I think it is now. If Youssef catches his man, and it's a free kick to the side from Hertfordshire. Fighting for their lives at the bottom end of League Two are Stevenage, and certainly could do with a cup run to boost the confidence going into the next two league games against Scunthorpe and Carlisle respectively next week on Tuesday and Saturday. Still time for that, half an hour to go. Yeovil leading 1-0 though. Moss is down here. Wilkinson and Andrade having a little bit of a bust up over something there. It's a bit of, he says it's a bit of gamesmanship from Moss, but he does very much look like he's got an injury there, but he's up to his feet, and it's a chance for Stevenage here from this throw. So see what can happen here. Jake Reeves is going to take the throw in. In fact, he's going to leave it for Max Melbourne. Max Melbourne into Luke Norris now. Luke Norris has to come deep, but he's got possession and gone back to Melbourne again. Now looking for Reed. Now Norris. Luke Norris for Stevenage goes to, in fact, it's well won in the end by Yeovil, and it's Jake Taylor who gives away a free kick there. The man who is now captain in place of Luke Prosser, who's gone off. Just caught Luke Wilkinson there. I think he's captain anyway. I can't see the armband on him, but it would be the natural choice. I'll have to have a look and see if I can see who the armband has gone to. But I think Taylor's he's done it for many years at Exeter, so I would have thought it would have been him. And he was captain Tuesday night, as I mentioned earlier as well, against Sutton. Darren Soul's side heading towards the third round so far, but still time to change that around for Paul Tisdale's men. Yeovil in possession, looking for, I think it was Gorman, was it? It's now back with Norris. Now it's Terence Van Kooten, in fact, it's Leafer Wilden for Stevenage, I have to say. Now it's with Osborne, onto Leafer Wilden once more now. Gets a cross in. It's defended well there by Yeovil and put behind for a throw-in, which James Wilden will take. For James Wilden to Elliot Osborne now. Elliot Osborne to Wilden once more. For Wilden plays it into the centre of the park to Jake Taylor, who now finds Elliot Osborne. Chance here for Stevenage. Set up. And it's Luke Norris, is it? Was he shoved back there? Referee says no, he wasn't. And good defending in the end from Yeovil to stop Norris. But also before that, to stop, I think it was Elliot List as well, who was lurking and ready to put the ball into the back of the net. It was good play from Stevenage. Jake Taylor finds Osborne. Osborne was looking for List. Reed was in there as well. It was well defended from Yeovil. I think it was actually the number 32 there, Staunton. They got there. So in fact, it's the number 22, Moss. They got there before anyone else. And then Yeovil were able to defend it the second time of asking as well. But Stevenage there trying to carve Yeovil open and did so just for a moment. But Moss, very good defending there from the Yeovil right back. Williams with the throw now to Low Everton. Now back to Hunt, I think that is. It's given away. Now it's a chance for Reed. Jamie Reed for Stevenage looking to make it 1-1. It's saved by Grant Smith there. You looked for all the world that Jamie Reed was going to make that 1-1 there. And Grant Smith does what he had to do. The sloppy from Yeovil took a deflection in the end off of Elliot List. And Jamie Reed, you would have thought he'd have put that one into the bottom corner, but it was denied very, very well by Grant Smith. And Yeovil can still breathe as they still lead 1-0. Here's Reed now. Now Andrade. Now Taylor. Jake Taylor looking for Wilden. Well defended there from Yeovil though, and from Hunt. Now it's Terence Van Kooten. Stevenage really trying to put the pressure on Yeovil now to try and get this equaliser. Here's Osborne. Here's Wilden. Move for Wilden to Osborne again. Tries to get the cross in. Well defended at the near post by Yeovil and by Hunt. Throw in from Stevenage, is it? Or is it a free kick there? Looks like the free kick's been given, in fact, by the assistant referee for a foul on Elliot Osborne, I think. I'll have to confirm that in a moment. Let's see here. As they show the chance from Jamie Reeves again, sorry, I should say. And it's a great save from Grant Smith. But Jamie Reed, when your luck's out, your luck's out. He was very unlucky a few weeks ago not to score against Mansfield. Had 2 opportunities on that day where he hit the post on both occasions. As Stevenage were beaten that day, which of course saw the end of the reign of Alex Ravel and Dean Wilkins, who were relieved of their duties after that defeat. But he really could have scored that one and levelled the game up there, Jamie, as well. Chance here for Jake Reed from this free kick now. Whips it in. Header by Norris. It's defended well by Yeovil and by Hunt. Hook clear. Now Taylor back to Adam Smith. Plays it out, looking for Wilding. Wilding knocks it on towards List. It's gone behind for a Yeovil throw, though. Seen out by the number 13, which is Williams. As Bernardo Silva has tripled Manchester City's lead as well. They're now 3 up against Watford in the Premier League. And Yeovil getting a sub ready here themselves now. It's going to be Ade Youssef coming off, the striker, and Tom Knowles is coming on in his place, the substitute there for Yeovil. Number 11. It's going to be Williams with this throw now for the home side. Of course, Stevenage been to Yeovil, I think it was 2012, I think it was, that Stevenage went to Yeovil and won 6-0 with Patrick Agyman on the score sheet that day, Luke Freeman as well, and now Jamal Lascelles is also on the score sheet, who's now captain of Newcastle. So many names there on that score sheet on that occasion have now gone on to bigger and better things. Luke Freeman included. Here's Andrade now. He's just ran that one out of play for a Yeovil goal kick. Mark Roberts was on the score sheet that day as well, as was John Ashton, I believe, as well, for Stevenage in that 6-0 victory. Many years ago now, though. Charlie Wakefield there is the difference maker so far. 66 played, and his goal is the difference for Yeovil, who lead 1-0 in this second round FA Cup tie. It's Dale Gorman now, looking for the on-running Knowles. Just come on a moment ago. Now it's back with Worthington. Now Knowles again. Now Gorman. Now Knowles. Good defending by Reeves. Now it's a chance for Elliot List there. Trying to find Jamie Reed. Defended well. I've just said that one, Russ. I got there before you. I got the message come through already. Just mentioned that it is Watford 0, Man City 3 now. Just I'll recap over that again. Bernardo Silva grabbing his second. As Yeovil look to do the same now. It's whipped behind. But it whips across there and it's kept in fact. Didn't go behind in the end. It's now chance here for Yeovil, and it's now with Wakefield, is that? Or Low Everton. Now it's number 13, Williams, and here's Norris now for Stevenage. Now it's Elliot Osborne. Tries to find List. Good defending from Luke Wilkinson there, and the captain isn't able to keep it in play. He's gone behind for a Stevenage throw there, though. 22 to play. Still Yeovil 1, Stevenage 0. Stevenage trying to get themselves that equaliser. Here's Luther Wilding now. Cleared out, but only as far as Reeves. Jake Reeves for Stevenage. Now Taylor. Now Reeves again. Jake Reeves for Stevenage. Plays it across to Elliot Osborne. Elliot Osborne for Borough. What can he do? Defended well. Now it's Luther Wilding. Now Osborne. Osborne whips it across. Good defending from Hunt though, but only away for a throw-in. Stevenage trying to pile the pressure on now. As you see, Paul Tisdale in discussions there with his assistant manager. It's Mel is assistant manager there. There's a chance here for Stevenage. Jake Reeves now. Good turn from him. Now looking for Jamie Reid. Is he onside? The referee says no. Mel Gwinnett, the man who's Paul Tisdale's assistant, incidentally, at Stevenage now. He came with him for his appointment. Been many places with him as well, including Exeter. I'm sure that's probably why he's gone with Jake Taylor as the captain now that Prosser has gone off, because he knows him very well from his time at the Devon side there as well. He's with him for many years. The header there from Moss, but Taylor wins it for Stevenage, and now Reeves. Now Taylor, now Reid. One in the air there by Van Kooten, and then knocked on, seen by Melbourne all the way through to Smith, and then he gets it back as well now. Plays it across to Luther Wilden here. 20 minutes to play. Luther Wilden tries to find the on-running Elliot List there, but well defended by Williams from a Yeovil centre-back point of view. And here's Wilden now. Luther Wilden for Stevenage. Luther Wilden back to Terence Van Kooten. TVC into Reid. Reeves to Melbourne. Now back to Terence Van Kooten again. Plays it to List. List is caught there as well by Staunton, and Jake Taylor wants to play it quickly, which he does to Osborne. Osborne on to Norris. The flag's up against Luke Norris though, and a bit wasted there from Stevenage, and Paul Tisdale doesn't look very happy with that as Stevenage tried to get the ball forward quickly, but Luke Norris is caught in an offside position, and Yeovil are able just to see it out. You can see there, Taylor wanted to take that quickly, played it to Osborne, and then Osborne played it through looking for Norris, who was just ahead of play, and the flag went up probably correctly, although Paul Tisdale was clapping the Stevenage move rather than, of course, the officials, I believe, there. As Stevenage are getting two more subs ready now as well. Arthur Reed is about to come on. Was on loan from Brentford last season, and signed permanently now. And Brad Barry is the other man coming on as well there. Number 27, scored Stevenage's goal against MK Dons, the first one in the 2-2 draw in the first round. Yeovil, of course, knocked out Yeovil Town in the round previous. There's a foul there on Reeves now. And Taylor wants to get that one moving quickly again as well. Now it's Reeves. In fact, it's Wilkinson, the man that fouled him, and he's in the book as well. The Yeovil skipper. Coming up to 18 to play. Still Yeovil 1, Stevenage 0 is the latest score. This FA Cup second round coverage. Luke Wilkinson there smiling as Elliot Osborne comes off to be replaced by Arthur Reed in the second Stevenage change. And it's Jamie Reid off for Brad Barry as well. So Stevenage going a bit more of a natural formation now. Now it's Reid on to Wilden, but given away there, and it's gone behind. In fact, no, it's now with Stevenage, and it's with Terence Van Kooten. Now Reeves. Reeves tries to find, I think that was, not too sure who that was, but now it's with Brad Barry, the substitute from Taylor's pass. Now Reid, the other substitution, gets it back from Wilden. Now there's Arthur Reid. Now Brad Barry. Battling there. Brad Barry signs, of course, earlier on this season. Can play in a number of positions, including in midfield and also in defence. Looks like he might have gone into midfield this evening. Terence Van Kooten now back to Adam Smith. Looks to play it long for Elliot List. In fact, it's won by Reid. Now List. It's well won by Yeovil, and Hunt clears it, but only as far as Reid. Now Taylor. It's battling there for Yeovil Moss, and it's now Reid up against Gorman, and Gorman tries to get Yeovil on the front foot, and Max Melbourne there miscues it, and Luther Wilden helps him out And Taylor helps it back to keeper Adam Smith in the end. Plays it into Brad Barry now, given away to Worthington, and well defended there by Luther James Weldon, and the Yeovil win the throw. 16 minutes to go for Stevenage to salvage something from this game. Still Yeovil 1, Stevenage 0. This FA Cup second round tie. You're listening to the commentary hub, JB Sports, JDAC Football, Storm FM, also on Twitter and Twitch as well, and on the SFC Interviews YouTube channel for this game too. Tom Knowles is getting ready to take this throw for Yeovil now. Tom Knowles throws it into the area, looking for the head of, not too sure who it was, but Dale Gorman just gets that one all wrong and scuffs it wide. Doesn't trouble Adam Smith in the Stevenage goal there. Remember, there can be 5 subs made from both sides here. So Stevenage has still got 2 opportunities to do that. In one more phase. Of course, it's 5 subs from 3 phases, I believe, including in that. And Yeovil only made the 1 sub so far. So they've still got 2 opportunities to do that, and 4 subs they can use if they want to, which would take up their whole bench, in fact, if they were to use all the next 4. It's Luke Wilkinson. Is it Luke Wilkinson or Hunt? No, it's Hunt that's going to leave it, in fact, for keeper Grant Smith there, as the referee is trying to get him to hurry up there. Craig Hicks a little bit. Bit of time wasting his the Yeovil keeper there, according to the referee from Surrey. And he plays it long, looking for the man. I think it's given away though. Now Reeves back to Adam Smith, and Adam Smith hooks it clear for Stevenage. That was Luke Norris. Now it's Arthur Reed. But it wasn't Arthur Reed, it was actually Reeves that time, looking for Reed, I should say. And now it's with Luther Wildham for Stevenage. And Luther Wildham plays it into the attacking half. Look at Luke Norris, and given away. Now Jake Taylor, now Norris again. Luke Norris for Stevenage. Plays it into Bruno Andrade now. Over on the right flank now. Left flank, sorry. Andrade whips it in, looking for Norris, and defended well by Williams. As there's a goal back for Watford, which we'll touch on in a moment as when we get a chance. Brad Barry, now Taylor. Taylor for Norris. Norris wins the header. And it's up into the air and claimed by Grant Smith in the Yeovil goal. That goal for Watford, incidentally, was scored by Cucho. So it's now Watford 1, Manchester City 3. Watford getting themselves a glimmer of hope in that one, in that Premier League game. Now trailing 3-1 against Manchester City rather than 3-0. Bernardo Silva getting a brace, and Raheem Sterling, incidentally, for Man City as well. And Yeovil still leading 1-0 here with around about 13 minutes to play. They're going to get a long throw here from Knowles, I think, as well. Going to add a second goal here now. We're looking for... Who's he going to look for here? He is certainly lining up a long throw. He was just drying the ball as though he was going to take a long one. He's going to take it now as well and get it into the area there. He's got a very long throw on him, and of course a bit of havoc there, and well defended in the end by Wildham, but only as far as now Worthington. I think it was Wakefield originally. Now Wildham tries to play it to Elliot List. Elliot List here for Stevenage now. It's forced out wide though. Now Arthur Reed. Elliot List trying to get more central. Arthur Reed for Stevenage. Arthur Reed, good feet from the former Brentford man. Goes back to Brad Barry. Whips in, defended well. And out of play for a throw in there. It was Hunt that did very well there from Yeovil. Brad Barry going to take this throw in now. He throws it short. Too wild. And now back to Brad Barry again. Now Reed. Now Luther James Wilden again. Now it's on to Terence Van Kooten. Now across to Max Melbourne. Now Andrade. Now Norris. Is he shoved in the back there? Referee says yes, he was. And Stevenage have a free kick here now. And Luke Wilkinson has to be careful. He's already on a yellow, remember. And he's just gone through the back of Luke Norris there. So the last thing that Yeovil want is a man to be sent off. So I wonder whether Darren Saul might look at that and think, about taking Luke Wilkinson off now. So here's Bruno Andrade, and it's defended well by Moss and hooked clear in the end from Yeovil, but only as far as Terence Van Kooten. And trying to get Stevenage moving once more. Now it's Jake Reeves. Jake Reeves to Melbourne. Melbourne to Wilden. Wilden to Jake Taylor. Taylor on to Brad Barry. Is he fouled there? The ref says yes, he was, by Williams. There's a bit of a shoving match there between Brad Barry and Worthington as well. But the referee says it's a Stevenage ball, and it's now with Bruno Andrade. Well switched across there from, I think, Wilden, but now it's Andrade on a run. Up against the goal scorer Wakefield, who does very well there defensively, and is able to put it behind for a throw. Now it's Arthur Reed for Stevenage. Well, Stevenage had a very good cup run last season behind closed doors, where they knocked out Concord Rangers after a replay, and then knocked out Hull at home as well. High flying Hull at the time, before getting to the third round and losing out 2-0 against Swansea City. With goals from Gyökeres and Routledge for Swansea on that occasion. Luke Norris incidentally missed the penalty that day for Stevenage. It's his penalty that sent Stevenage to this second round. Got some women's coverage for you tomorrow with Nicholas Jones incidentally, and he's going to be bringing the game as Arsenal take on Chelsea in the women's final. As Yeovil get their second sub ready, and it's Low Everton coming off. In place is in his place is Ruben Rees entering the fray. Former Plymouth Argyle man, amongst others. The big number 9. Just back off a bit of an injury, in fact, Ruben Reed as well. Looking to get the last 10 minutes here, plus any additional time. Brad Barry for Stevenage looking for List, but well defended by Hunt there. It's a throw for Stevenage now. Max Melbourne over it. Darren Saul is trying to rally his Yeovil troops. Ruben Reed also played at Rotherham, incidentally. Very well put across there, Russ. Russ is man of the stats, of course. The chance here for Yeovil now. It's Worthington on the run. In fact, it wasn't Worthington. It was. It might have been Wakefield, I think, actually. It's gone behind for a Yeovil ball. Yeovil throw here. Coming up to the 82nd minute now, and it's Yeovil 1. In this FA Cup second round tie. At Hewish Park, of course, the home of Yeovil. Many FA Cup upsets have been made by both of these two sides, and Yeovil look like, so far, with still 7.5 minutes to go, they might be adding Stevenage's name to that list. Whether anyone from Stevenage can change that, though, in the remaining few minutes is still yet to be seen, as Luke Norris fouls his man there. Just went through the back of Moss. It's a Yeovil free kick here. I will have to get my thinking cap on for player of the match in a few moments as well, as to who I'm going to be potentially looking at giving that to in this final closing stages. Smith plays it long, looking for Reed. Reed to Worthington. Worthington to Gorman. Gorman out wide right to Wakefield is that. There's a chance here to get it on the overlap. There's a chance here for Yeovil now, and Worthington. Now Gorman. Now Worthington again. Into the area he goes. Gets across in. Goes behind for a goal kick. Ruben Rees clubs Plymouth, Rotherham, West Brom, Yeovil. There's a second spell at Yeovil, Oldham, Exeter, Forest Green and Cheltenham amongst clubs that Ruben Rees played for. The second spell here at Hewish Park, of course. The chance there for Yeovil. Worthington getting his cross all wrong, and Ends up going away and out of play for a throw-in. Stevenage trying to get the ball forward towards Bradley Barry, but that's the flag's gone up there against him. And we've got 6 minutes to go here. Yeovil still leading by that goal to nil, scored by Charlie Wakefield. Incidentally, he signed for Stevenage in 2016 on a year's loan, did Charlie Wakefield, and didn't actually feature, I don't believe, but he was. I was right in what I was thinking earlier about him being on the books at the club. The man who seems to have gone under the radar a little bit on this game, because obviously with the history between Darren Sarl and also Dale Gorman and Luke Wilkinson, who have all played for the club or managed the club or coached at the club retrospectively. Charlie, the fact he was on loan, has gone under the radar a bit, but he is also a former Stevenage man, and he's the difference maker so far. Here's Reeves, though, for Stevenage. Now it's Reed. Now Brad Barry. Now Norris. Now Arthur Reed once more. 5 minutes to play. Arthur Reed here for Stevenage. Gets the cross in. Yes. Defended there by Moss and behind for a corner. Stevenage need to at least get one goal to see their name in the replay. But still time for a winner as well if they were to get a goal pretty quickly. Here's Reeves now to Andrade. Puts it in. Chance for Melbourne at the back post, and in fact it's knocked on by him to Bradley Barry and claiming a corner, but the ref says no, it's a goal kick. It was Andrade originally who whipped in the delivery, looking for Terence Van Kooten, in fact, rather than Melbourne, and Brad Barry couldn't quite get on the end of it. 4 minutes to play, still 1-0 to Yeovil. Charlie Wakefield's goal, the difference. After about 52, 53 minutes or so. And Yeovil have it in here with Wakefield now. Charlie Wakefield looking for Moss, now back to Wakefield again. Gets his cross in, defended by Terence Van Kooten, and then is he able to deal with that one against Worthington? Yes, he is, and now it's tidied up by Melbourne as well, and looking for Arthur Reed, but it's put out of play for the Stevenage throw there. 3.5 to play, plus any additional time that we have at the end of the second round cup tie here. The third of 4. It's out of play there. Bradley Barry couldn't do anything about keeping that one in, and looks like Paul Tisdale's first game in Stevenage as Stevenage boss could be ending out in defeat, unless things can change quickly here. And the list is trying to just quickly get the ball over to Yeovil man, who seems to be wasting time a little bit there because they do have the lead. Yeovil fans loving this as well at the moment. They're thoroughly enjoying their Saturday night out. Stevenage fans not as much. There's still time for that to change. It's a chance for Knowles now, looking for Reed. It's gone behind for a Stevenage throw there. It's taken by Wilden. Now Terence Van Kooten. Van Kooten to Melbourne. Now Reeves. Jake Reeves now. Now Lou for Wilden again. Lou for Wilden to that's Terence Van Kooten. Now into midfield, there goes Melbourne, I think that is. Tries to switch it across, but defended by Worthington, and now Arthur Reed has it. Now it's Lou for Wilden. 88 played. Now Jake Reeves for Stevenage. Tries to find Norris. Luke Norris here. Luke Norris is in the area. What can he do? Luke Norris gets across into the good defending from the Yeovil man there. Wilkinson to put it behind for a throw. Norris wants to take this quickly. He does so as well. Now Melbourne. Melbourne to Norris. Norris to Wilden. Wilden hits it, takes a deflection off of Hunt and goes behind for a Stevenage throw. which Bradley Barry's running over to try and grab the ball for so he can take it quickly. 89 on the clock. Yeovil holding firm so far. Leading 1-0. Through ball there, looking for Elliot List, but Grant Smith comes out and just falls on the ball there and claims that one in his gloves comfortably. We'll be thinking about my man in the match shortly as well. Plenty of men who are certainly in mind for that category. Well, my player of the match, I should say. From a Yeovil point of view, there's been a few impressive players from Stevenage as well, who I can maybe bear in mind. Coming up to the 90th minute, so we will be finding out shortly how long Stevenage have to salvage their chance of getting through in the third round of the cup, or into the third round of the cup, as Yeovil's boss Darren Searle is looking at bringing on number 14 Bradley for what's going to be the additional time. And it's now with Tom Knowles. I'll come to that in a moment, Russ, as well, when I get a chance. 4 minutes of additional time, by the way. Shot here at goal, straight at Adam Smith by, I think that was Dale Gorman. And Stevenage can counter here through Melbourne. Now, Jake Reeves. Jake Reeves for Stevenage. Wonder whether Bradley will get on for Yeovil. It's now Luther Walden. Plays it out to Bradley Barry. Bradley Barry into the area. Jake Taylor. Now it's Bruno Andrade. He takes a deflection. And back to Stevenage. Back to List. It's well defended, but only as far as Andrade again. Up against Wakefield. Bruno Andrade wins the throw there off of Charlie Wakefield. And it's a moment there. It looked like Elliot List might have been in. It was a good ball. And headed on by Taylor, and then an effort from Andrade, which was well blocked by Moss. He's had a very good game as the Yeovil right back. And Yeovil sub Charlie Wakefield, the man whose goal is going to see them through if things stay this way, is exiting the fray, and he's going to be replaced by 14 Bradley, who's coming on. Just showing the goal again. It was actually from a poor kick out from Adam Smith, which I didn't really notice at the time. And then Yeovil were able to attack on the back of that. So the Stevenage keeper, he was actually punching the ground after that. He was very unhappy with himself, and you can see why now. It looks like that might be the difference there for Yeovil. They've got a man down as well there now, and I think there's going to be maybe a bit more time added on to the 4 minutes as Gorman just whacked to the head there. Halfway through the additional time here. Up next for Yeovil is a home tie against Barnet in the National League. And as I mentioned earlier, Stevenage hosts Scunthorpe on Tuesday evening in their next game. Yeovil just next weekend, I believe, incidentally. On next Saturday. Yes, it is indeed, against Barnet. Tom Knowles there. Just involved as well. Keeper Smith plays it looking for Reed, but it goes out of play for a Stevenage throw. Paul Tisdale is scratching his nose there and trying to think about what he may be able to do with this Stevenage side, because of course it does look like we are going to be heading out. Well, I say we, as in I'm a Stevenage, that people know that I do follow Stevenage a bit, but Stevenage are going to be heading out of the cup. Here's Max Melbourne now. Now it's with Andrade. Now Melbourne. Last chance saloon for Stevenage. 1 minute to go. Reeves to Taylor. Taylor onto Wilden. Luther Wilden back to Van Kooten. Terence Van Kooten into Taylor. Stevenage have got to really get the ball moving fast now. Here's Bradley Barry. Last chance saloon. Good defending from Yeovil. Now Ruben Reed. Holds it up well. Finds Dale Gorman was that, and he was fouled as well by Bruno Andrade. And it does look, it was actually on Bradley, the substitute. It does look very much like Yeovil were going to be the side that heading through in this FA Cup competition. And Stevenage going to have to just focus on league action and survival in the Football League after this. unless there's a chance to do anything here now in the remaining 15 seconds or so. Adam Smith's going to have to get the ball forward very quickly here from this goal kick. Otherwise, it's going to be all that, and Yeovil can start to celebrate. As we are over the 4 minutes now. Stevenage is still in possession though. It's gone off of Arthur Reed and it's gone behind for a Yeovil throw. And this will probably be that. I'm sure it won't be too long until Craig Hicks looks at his watch now and blows up here. Dale Gorman is going to let that one roll through to Moss. He's going to take the throw in here. He's taking his time over it. With 25 seconds over the 4 minutes, by the way. The referee's trying to add some more time on here. Trying to get you able to hurry up a bit. Moss throws it in. He looks at his watch. Does he know? Not yet. Ruben Reid holding it up for Yeovil up against Max Melbourne. Good defending from the Stevenage man. And now the referee, Craig Hicks, has blown his whistle. And we've got Yeovil Town, of course, an FA Cup upset. Darren Searle's side have beaten League Two Stevenage. Paul Tisdale loses out on his opening game as Stevenage boss. And Darren Searle has knocked out a former side of his. I'm going to hand back over to Russ in the studio in a moment, and I'll go through my man of the match as well, which I've got to talk about my man of the match, who I've given it to as well with Russ. But Darren Searle shaking hands of the Yeovil players and the Stevenage players, and it's the former Stevenage boss that gets one over the current Stevenage boss, and Yeovil Town progress through to round 3. Stevenage have to focus on Scunthorpe on Tuesday and League Two survival, and Yeovil are in the hat for that third round draw. And who could it be for them? Could it be Arsenal? Could it be Tottenham? Could it be Manchester United? Could it be Chelsea? Could it be Liverpool? Or could it be a Manchester City? Have to wait and see if you're a Yeovil fan. Stevenage bow out. Yeovil are victorious by 1-0. Charlie Wakefield, former Stevenage loanee, the man who sends them through. Yeovil 1, Stevenage 0. Back to you, Russ.
Thank you, Mike. Great coverage in the end from Mike Ornament, but Stevenage are the team that bow out of the FA Cup at the second round stage. Yeovil will continue till the third round, but could they go out then? I wonder. They may do, or they may produce an upset as well. And Mike, I'm not sure if we got your player of the match in the end, Mike.
No, you haven't as of yet, and there's many names in green and white that you could give it to. Moss was given the man of the match by the TV coverage. He had a very, very good game. But for me, I'm going to give it to the man who I thought was instrumental in midfield. Another former Stevenage connection, incidentally, as well, Dale Gorman. So the Northern Ireland man is going to be the man who I'll give my man of the match to today. I thought he was very, very good for Yeovil and shows that he certainly still has enough about him to be a Football League player. So Dale Gorman, the Yeovil midfielder, is my player of the match.
Yes, and Mike, Stevenage throughout they puffed, but couldn't find that breakthrough in the end. Why do you think it all went wrong today for Stevenage, and what was the main reasons and key factors why Stevenage didn't progress, in your opinion?
It's all about taking chances, really, for me. Many chances in the first half. There was obviously the chances for Andrade, for Osborne, the chance for, it was Elliot Osborne getting in down on the flank as well, trying to get the cross in, and Yeovil were able to defend very well when Elliot List and Jamie Reid were lurking, ready just to put the ball into the back of the net. They defended that one very well. Obviously, there was the chance for Luke Prosser. There was the chance for also Jake Reeves from the set piece as well. And then when you look at the goal as well, poor, kick out really, goes straight to a Yeovil head, Worthington there, and then Youssef involved, then Low Everton, and then on to Charlie Wakefield, who just buries it past Adam Smith in the Stevenage goal. But I'm sure Adam Smith there, the fact he's a former Yeovil man as well, will be very unhappy with that one, and just kicking the ball out pretty much directly to a Yeovil man. And there it all started from there, and Yeovil were able to go on the attack and finish it off with the goal, which was the difference through Wakefield as well. And it's them in the hat for round 3.
that it is, Mike, and let's just remind you what else has happened in the FA Cup today, and also what's happened in the evening kickoff in the Premier League. And I'm not sure if Mike has mentioned it or not, but breaking news is coming out of Ipswich Town this evening after their draw this afternoon against Barrow in the FA Cup. Ipswich Town have sacked manager Paul Cook. So Ipswich, who are in League One, are looking for yet another manager. Let's have a look then on all the other scores from today's matches, starting with the Premier League. West Ham United 3, Chelsea 2, Burnley 1, Newcastle 1, Burnley 0, should I say. Sorry about that, JB, if you're listening. Southampton 1, Brighton 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0, Liverpool 1, Watford 1, Man City 3. Championship. Coventry City 1, Watford 2, Barnsley 1, Huddersfield Town 1, Blackburn Rovers 1, Preston North End 0, Blackpool 0, Luton Town 3, Bristol City 1, Derby County 0, Cardiff City 2, Sheffield United 3, Middlesbrough 1, Swansea 0, Millwall 3, Birmingham 1, Nottingham Forest 2, Peterborough 0, Reading 1, Hull City 1. In League 1, Accrington Stanley 5, Fleetwood Town 1, Sunderland 1, Oxford United 1. In the National League, Aldershot 2, Altrincham 2, Barney 3, Maidenhead 0, Bromley 3, Wilston 2, Dagenham Redbridge 3, Grimsby Town 2, Dover Athletic 0, Wrexham 1, Solihull Moors 2, Woking 0, Weymouth 1, Torquay 2. National League North, AFC Fylde v Blythe Spartans finished 4-1 to AFC Fylde. Redford Park Avenue 0, Bracklow Town 3, Chester 2, Leamington 1, Curzon Ashton 1, Alfreton 2, Gateshead v Talford, match postponed due to Gateshead's involvement in the FA Cup on Friday evening. Gloucester 2, Spennymoor 0, Guiseley 0, York City 1, Kettering 2, Boston United 3, Southport 2, Hereford 0. National League South, should I say not South. Chippenham 4, Dorking 1, Concord Rangers 2, Braintree 2, Dartford 1, Billericay 0, Dulwich Hamlet 5, Ebbsfleet 2, Hampton Richmond 0, and Hempstead 1, Hamilton Waterloo 1, Bath City 3, Hungerford 0, Oxford City 1, Slough 2, Tunbridge 1, Welling 0, Eastbourne Borough 2. Isthmian League Premier Division, Bishop Stortford 1, Cos Alton 1, Corinthian Casuals 1, Wingate and Finchley 1, East Thurrock 0, Bowers and Pitsea 2, Enfield 2, Folkestone 3, Haringey 3, Bognor Regis 3, Hornchurch 2, Kingstonian 1, Leatherhead 0, Brightlingsea 2, Lewes 1, Potters Bar 5, Margate 2, Cheshunt 2, Marston 1, Horsham 3, Worthing 2, Cray 0. FA Cup, Buxton 0, Morecambe 1, FC Wimbledon 4, Cheltenham 3, Bristol Rovers 2, Sutton United 1, Burton Albion 1, Port Vale 2, Cambridge United 2, Exeter City 1, Carlisle United 1, Shrewsbury Town 2, Youngster Rovers 2, Mansfield Town 3. Ipswich Town 0, Barrow 0. That saw Ipswich Town sack manager Paul Cook. Leighton Orient 4, Tranmere 0. Lincoln 0, Hartlepool 1. Portsmouth 1, Harrogate 2. Walsall 1, Swindon 2. And Yeovil 1, Stevenage 0. In the Premier League 2, Tottenham Hotspur under-23s 3, Man City under-23s 0. Premier League under-18s, Blackburn Rovers versus Burnley, match abandoned in the second half with Burnley leading by a goal to 0. Chelsea 4, Arsenal 1. Crystal Palace 3, Tottenham 0. Everton 3, Manchester United 0. Reading 2, Norwich 0. Southampton 2, Fulham 0. Sunderland 3, Middlesbrough 4. West Bromwich Albion 1, Birmingham City 1. Stoke City 2, Man City 0. Wolves 0, Nottingham Forest 3. Liverpool 3, Newcastle United 1. Those are the results for you today. Let's just go to Mark again quickly. He's got some comments to read out in a few minutes, But Mike, looking through the other FA Cup scores which you've just there, which ones are surprises for you from what you've heard today? And from the results you've heard today, should I say?
Yeah, so Port Vale obviously going to Burton, getting a victory there from behind as well. So you have to look at that as one of them. A good victory for Port Vale. Obviously Mansfield, their victory in there as well. Fantastic for them. So there's a couple in there. Those two in particular really for me. But yeah, there's maybe one or two others as well. But for Port Vale, and for Mansfield, and also obviously with Ipswich sacking their manager as well. So obviously that's another talking point there and another positive result for a lower division side.
Yes, absolutely, Mike, absolutely. Looking at the teams that have already gone through them, Mike, from last night and today so far, obviously Ipswich sacking the manager on the back of 0-0 draw with Barrow there. Rochdale and Plymouth play tomorrow. Salford, Chesterfield also tomorrow. Kidderminster, Halifax also tomorrow. Colchester, Wigan also tomorrow. And Bournemouth Stormers on Monday. That's our next live offering in the FA Cup. If you're looking at that as obviously you follow Stevenage, but you're looking at this as a Arsenal fan now, Mike, with some of the sides that have gone through already from this weekend, like Yeovil, Bristol Rovers, Port Vale, Morecambe, Hartlepool, AFC Wimbledon, Leighton Orient, Cambridge, Mansfield, Swindon, Rotherham, Charlton, Shrewsbury, Harrogate in there, plus then some of the teams are playing tomorrow, like Colchester versus Wigan, Bournemouth, St Albans on Monday, Kidderminster or Halifax, they're playing on Sunday, Salford, Chesterfield playing on Sunday, Rochdale playing on Sunday, and then Ipswich Barrow in the replay. As an Arsenal fan, Mike, out of those teams I've gone through and the teams that have come into in this competition from the Championship and the rest of the Premier League sides, which side are you hoping Arsenal gets, Mike? And because I know before this game was played, you hoping Stevenage got through and it was Arsenal v Stevenage, but which side are you wanting Arsenal to get now, my friend? Now Stevenage have gone.
You have to look at potentially St Albans if they get through past Boreham Wood. Of course, Ian Allinson, St Albans manager, played for Arsenal, so that would be a nice moment for him if he was to come up against Mikel Arteta's side. So that'd be a really good game for them. Whether it's especially if it's at St Albans, that'd be a great one. But then there's plenty of other teams in there as well that Arsenal could face. It could end up facing Tottenham, could end up facing your Manchester Cities, your Man United, your Chelseas. It could end up as an all Premier League tie. Could end up facing the Championship side, like maybe like a Fulham or QPR and Millwall, somebody like that. And then obviously Premier League, potentially West Ham. But then obviously there's other clubs as well that could potentially be in there. Port Vale, Barrow, many sides. Mansfield. I'd like to see Arsenal, St Albans. If St Albans get through, that'd be a nice one for Ian Allison and also for David Noble as well. He's on the St Albans books as captain there, who was in the Arsenal academy.
Yes, absolutely, Mike. Absolutely, my friend. And you got a few comments that you want to. Plenty of comments coming through on Facebook. You said, and you want to read. If you just pick an handful, Mike, and just read a few of those before we leave people this evening, this afternoon, or this morning, depending where people are in the world tuning into us right now.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of messages here. Martin says, what must be going through Paul Tisdale's mind right now? Craig saying, what chances did Stevenage create, really? We had so few due to no service from midfield. The chances we did get were sort of more half chances. Other than Liss, who was marked out of the game, we seriously lack any talent and lack passion and fight. Also, there's a message here from Martin again. Roll on January when we can make some signings. Mitch as well says start with Andrade, Osborne, Wild and TVC and Arthur Reed in terms of players that could potentially leave the club. Glenn also says, how many chances do we need till we start to put teams away? Adam Smith was shocking for the goal kick. And then Ben says, jinxed it, because I said, obviously, if Stevenage got the first goal, they could have gone on and won by a couple. And then, obviously, there's been a few other messages as well. My friend Duncan says his walking football team could have beaten Yeovil today. So that's how disappointed he is with that. But that's just a handful of comments from Stevenage fans for you.
Yes, thank you very much there, Mike. Thank you for your brilliant commentary once again, as always, Mike, throughout the game today and throughout your time here on the commentary. I know that you've got a couple penciled in midweek before you go off on your break away. Just go commenting here on the YouTube on our live comment section, which we're all your famous guys. Thank you very much. But let's move on and let's end the broadcast right here. Thank you very much to everyone who's been tuned in today. Sorry on the TCO2 listeners if you wanted to listen to the Man City game due to technical problems with our commentator who wasn't able to get through.
Sorry, I was just going to say sorry to anyone that listened to this commentary as well and wanted Stevenage to get through. Unfortunately, it's a defeat for Paul Tisdale's side. And all to do now in the league. 2 big games in the league. Tuesday at home to Scunthorpe and then Saturday at home to Carlisle. 2 sides below Stevenage. Has to be 6 points, nothing less.
Yes, that's the thoughts of Mike Orneman, who did brilliant with his commentary once again. Thank you very much to everyone who's listened to our FA Cup coverage today from all of the team here and the TC Hub. Thank you very much for listening. Wherever you are, whether it's good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you are, thank you very much for tuning in. And we'll leave you here and we'll be back on Sunday, UK time, of just before 2 o'clock, when Nicholas Jones puts his hand to the microphone to his lip and the microphone to his lips to guide you through the FA Women's Cup final between Arsenal and Chelsea. From all over the team here, thank you very much for watching and listening. Goodbye.